Hey everybody, welcome to my new and refurbished YouTube channel. Basically, we're just going to be kind of following along on a lot of the adventures we get into in the CrossFit space, some training, some home life, and I'm going to try to bring some educational content to all you people at the same time. We're going to have some fun this week. It's kind of our first episode, and we're going to follow the quarterfinals. We're just kicking off the CrossFit Games quarterfinals with Ellie Turner and Freya Moosbrugger and Michele Letendre and the DekaComp crew. So we're going to bring you guys the action from inside the gym. Give us a follow, like, and subscribe if you want to see more training content, more of what we're doing in the gym, and get some educational tools while you're at it. Feel free to drop a comment, give us some ideas on things that you guys would like to see, whether it's more stuff inside the gym, more stuff outside the gym. We're always open to ideas and looking to give you guys exactly what you like.
Have you heard what they are? Have you seen them?
Did you know?
How many text messages you get?
It's like hard to tell people that I didn't care. Like, okay. And like by the time I was up, they were taken down.
Yeah.
It's like, I got screenshots. I'm like, alright. Or I could just wait like 4 hours. It's fine.
I feel like that's a very classic Pat thing. Like, I don't care. Just let me work out now.
Well, like part of this the standards weren't released.
Yeah.
So you don't know anything. It's like it doesn't matter. Like, what am I gonna? You can't do them early, so it really doesn't matter at all.
How you feeling?
I don't know. We'll see in a few minutes here if I'm feeling strong or not.
Did you recover much the last couple of days? Have you been chilling out, or are you?
We trained pretty hard on Tuesday, and then just yesterday was kind of chill.
Yeah.
Recovery session, but yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been like anything crazy. Just sort of same old. Just see, I'm just like not a 100 max guy. So we'll see how this looks.
This is different, though.
Yeah, it's 3 opportunities to be embarrassed. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think any of those. I don't think any of them I'm like exceptional at, but we'll see what it means with all 3. I think you're gonna have a lot of people who like crush one, and then maybe do average on the other 2. So if you can be pretty good at all 3, you're probably alright. Hey, it's fine. You can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
So I'll just hope it's a good heavy day. Go for it. Try not to hurt myself.
Did I?
You did.
You didn't hear me because
You'd walk across and then you'd be like,
doing a good job. No, I honestly, you didn't see me, but every time you lifted, I clapped really hard. That was me.
I'm assuming that's a PR total.
Say,
yeah, it was
all
like
3 are PRs? Is that what you
probably,
said?
I think 365 was my previous best cleans. The 6 pound previous bench was 305. So
28. I'll
10
calculate
pounds,
that to
11
make sure, but I'm
pounds.
pretty sure that's right.
That's amazing.
No,
Pat.
6 pounds again, and then I was like 1 pound on my worst bottles. Whatever. Count.
You're 32 and sparring.
Look at these 2 pounds.
Even Michelle's making old man Pat jokes here. What is this?
Yeah.
How's a guy supposed to
When
survive?
Pat makes fun of his age on social media, it basically says to everybody that they can do it.
That it doesn't hurt my feelings.
No. If you could say it, I could.
Because yes, the field's getting younger, but also there's never been a 30-year-old person on the podium. I guess Matt was his last year, and then he retired. So last year. So prior to last year, there was prior to Matt, I guess in 2020, there was never a 30-year-old on the podium, which means that objectively speaking, we're old relative to any field, not just the current field.
Old relative to success.
Yeah, I guess. In any CrossFit field up to now. But we're just reinventing what that means. You're right. Both Brent and I were over 30 and we were on the podium last year, so the field's getting relatively younger. Everything else, we're all changed. We got a lot to learn.
Are you guys going to retire together, or is there a last man standing competition between you two?
No, there isn't that, but it'll be interesting to see. I think it probably, in the end, it would likely be around the same time, just because I think shelf life and life happens at the same kind of times. You start building a family, you start doing other things, and it just priorities change over time, right? It's easy when you're 22 and you're living at home and you sweat, but now I got responsibilities.
Yeah. 3 PRs.
Hey man, still got it.
Gotta take. Yeah. You said you weren't feeling too strong, but going into it.
I think I said we'll see how strong I feel. You never know until you get your hands on the barbell,
No.
right? It's I don't know, driving here today, I was like, yeah. It might be, you feel sluggish, it might be a tough one to go max out 3 lifts, right? But it's fun. I think knowing you're in a competition helps, and having other people competing next to you helps.
Yeah.
So, it was cool. I mean, at the clean, I feel like I took a bit of a risk on the last one, and it was fine. And I just didn't overreach. I feel like my last lift on the clean and the bench, you could take another minute or two and try to do another one, but is there any real point? I was happy with what I did in both, and then save a bit for the overhead squat. Got a 1 pound PR in the overhead squat, which is nothing to.
Hey, that's not nothing.
Nothing to tell the world about. But it counts. It's getting there.
What about the bench press? You said how big of that PR was that one?
It was 6 pounds, I think, or maybe 11. I can't remember if it was 300 or 305 before. But
now you're in the 3 wheel club.
I know, that was actually a big deal. Right away I was like, hey. Although you might notice I didn't have the confidence to put 3 wheels on. I left the 25s and put 2 10s on because I was like, I don't know. I felt like I was a faker. But yeah, went well. So really, I couldn't ask for more out of that event for me. So that's really awesome. Especially, I haven't been doing a lot of weightlifting lately. Post Wadapalooza and Rogue and all the off-season competitions, they kind of changed the training system a little bit. And I feel like I joked with Nate before, my opening lift was 331, and that's the heaviest clean I've done since Rogue.
Since Rogue, which is in November?
End of October.
October.
Yeah. So I was like, I just haven't been. We've been doing some power stuff, mostly squatting, back squat, taking it easy. I was rehabbing a bit of a back injury for a bit, so just been doing things differently.
Yeah. So
it's a good confidence boost to come into a test and then perform at what your normal standard would be or past that. I feel like, oh man, at least even if you're not burying yourself under heavy barbells every day, you can still get stronger. So it's good to know that.
Good.
Because I gotta take it easy on my body sometimes these days. It's I can't be pummeling myself under high load every day. Or I'm gonna get hurt, right? So it's a bit of training smarter these days. So I'm super happy with that. And I mean that's kind of the one that I thought would be my worst event of the weekend. So it's nice to get it A, out of the way. Yeah. And B, have it go pretty well. So, can't complain at all. And I think all the girls lifted pretty well too. So
girls lifted pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like more made lifts than missed lifts. Once you settle it, it's kind of okay. So if I'm here and one's falling, I'd rather go to get it back than go all the way down and all the way back up. Because then I come all the way back up and I'm still like this. And you got to do that to find that spot. You got to do it anyway, right? I don't know, I couldn't find a good spot.
Walking in. Sets of 10 here. Front rack lunges, I would drop them down also every 10, unless you're holding it on your back. And then here I would do like he did 3 sets or 4 sets. 4 sets might even be a little bit quicker, like quick sets. Pat was doing it every 5, which I think is really smart. So I would drop every 5, and
Take
then
less
this one.
rest than I did if you can.
Yeah.
Like just strain something in the deep in my neck. So it's like having a bad, like I can't really look to the right or lean my head to the right. So it doesn't feel good doing kicks.
So I'm in the right position to answer questions.
Yeah,
because
Justin's
if you
in
look
a
to the
bad
right, Justin's
spot.
in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I got to turn my body.
So were you annoyed that it didn't do distances standard?
I think it's weird. It's a weird decision because we had to have a 25-foot section anyways that they're using for such shuttle runs.
Yeah.
Like it was in the equipment list.
Yeah.
So like, why don't we just use it for that too? But instead, people are just doing way different distances. I think it's a weird decision.
Yeah.
It just feels funny because people are just doing unequal work. Like Brent could lunge as small as he wants, and he'll do 200 feet more distance than Scott Tetlow will do.
Yeah.
And it's like not. So the shorter athlete gets a huge advantage on the handstand pushes and on the lunges as well, which is usually where the bigger athlete usually gain back some time. It seems like a weird decision when we have the 25-foot section regardless.
For sure it looks cool. Like I'd have to talk to Bijan and be like, hey,
Have you seen Bailey's, like Dan Bailey's gym?
Didn't he like refurbish a barn or something?
Yeah, so his barn's sweet, and I think Sam's still has like a mid-level in it. So it's like a bottom level and then a top level, but Dan's is all open. So it's like super high ceilings.
Yeah.
And forever, I was at his house when it wasn't like, the walls weren't complete. It was like, there's snow blowing in the sides, and he was just him fixing it up for like years.
Yeah.
And now it's looking pretty solid, and I see videos of him training in there sometimes, and it looks sweet. It looks cold as shit, depending on the time of year, but it's a cool aesthetic.
All right, so what's the plan here?
We're gonna do the wall ball shuttle run rope climb workout, and that might be all we're doing today.
Oh, you're only gonna do the one.
We're trying to have a party tomorrow, so I think the gym was gonna have a barbecue tomorrow, so we figured we'd do the last workout and then have the barbecue.
Okay.
And it would be more fun for everyone. So it might be it today, which is kind of chill. I don't know. So this is an interesting one, and we'll see how those shuttle runs go. We're gonna just measure it out and pace it out a bit and see how we can be most efficient there.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty simple workout, so I actually don't think it's gonna be like a huge deal.
No.
I think it's kind of like a smooth workout. Lots of wall balls, lots of rope climbs.
Have you done shuttle runs? Like, have you played with doing shuttle
Not
runs?
for a long time. I did a little bit of them before Wadapalooza because they were supposed to be in one of the workouts there.
Yeah.
But then they ended up changing it because of the rain, so I haven't done them in like a competitive workout in a long time. So 25 meters isn't very much. It's basically like accelerate, decelerate. So I think you can kind of...
25 feet.
Sorry, 25 feet, yeah. So it's a lot of accelerate, decelerate. I think you can really blow your legs if you're pushing too hard, and they'll only gain a couple seconds, which might matter. But I think that's a spot where you can really spike your heart rate in this workout.
Do you have memories of the beep test in high school?
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of beep tests.
No?
No,
I feel like you would have been good at it.
We did it a few years, and then I'll tell you a secret. In high school, I did my gym class all through online learning. So I didn't do gym class at all in high school. So I don't know if they did it.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you do gym class through online learning?
They just had online modules where you would like do your various modules for different sports, and you'd like write a quiz, and you had to record like hours of physical activity.
Oh.
But because I was training like 30 to 40 hours a week in various sports, I just was like, I could take that as an empty block in school and then fill it with like another class. So I just did that. I was like taking different options. Like I did it so that I could take like more physics or something like that. And then I just never did gym at school because I just was training so much anyways, and it felt like a loophole where I could sort of get credit for a class without doing it.
Yeah.
And then you like log into your online portal like once a month and do like 5 modules because they take no time.
This is the opposite of every other athlete, where they're like, less school, less time in school, I'm going to just work out. And you're like, no, more smart things, more physics, more chemistry.
I did less. I did no gym in high school so that I could take more pure sciences as options.
Take notes, kids.
Yeah, anyway.
Kind of workout that makes you wonder how badly you want to go back to the games. Just like good to have some of that stop and start in another stage, honestly, because those are kind of games level skills that we don't do in the gym a lot. But it's hard. It's so much stop and start. Your legs get way heavier than I thought.
Yeah.
And probably like the lunges and pistols play a part of that, but I feel like by the third round, I was already like, oh, this run is gonna pummel. So frankly, people who are really good on that run might really be successful. I think that's where it comes down to. You're like not as ready for the rope as I would have thought. When you get back to the wall ball, you're still pretty gassed.
Yeah.
And it's just, started using my arms to push off my leg in the last few rounds, and I probably should have done that earlier.
When you're running?
Like as you pivot,
Oh,
my
yeah.
front foot, just like touching with this hand and leaning with my forearm on this arm and trying to drive off. Like the last 8 shuttle runs I did that. Should have invested earlier probably.
Was that different than you expected?
About the same, just a little harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought the wall balls would give you enough time to recover a bit, your legs and your heart rate.
Yeah.
And it might just be the effect of, a bunch of events. It's I did not recover my legs or my heart rate as much as I thought I would. So those first 2 rounds are fast. Like, you can't really.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the longer sets of wall balls, you kind of already dug yourself a bit of a hole. Then you gotta kind of just lay down in it. I feel like I got into the 12 shuttle runs. So like the second part of the third round of 7.
Yeah.
And halfway through those shuttles, I was like, oh, yeah, this is gonna be long. Like the first 2 rounds of shuttles, I thought they were done really fast. You kind of get in a zone in your footwork, and I thought, oh, the shuttles will go by fast because you're focused on other things.
Yeah.
And by about the middle round, I was like, nah, they're dragging. And you're like kind of trying to recover, but stay in your pattern so you're not taking like unnecessary steps.
Yeah.
And choking up your breathing. But holy, yeah, I just like was way more gassed running there than I would have liked. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, here's what it is. It's done.
Good.
Hopefully that's fine, because I'm not doing that again.
Playing tourists today. Quarterfinals are done, and so we're enjoying a rare day off. Most of the time, my schedule is kind of I'm training 5 days a week, and then any day that I'm not training, I work at the clinic. So I'm pretty much on every day of the week. And so the rare occasions that I have a day off are a stat holiday on a Monday or a weekend competition that I managed to finish on a Saturday, like an online competition like the quarterfinals. So it's nice. We're enjoying just a nice day off to kind of go walk around in Victoria, take the dog and the baby for a rip, and just spend some family time and relax. Shannon Smith, legend. So the backstory is that, so he texted me saying, "You never let me beat you in my wheelhouse workouts, and honestly, I'm sick of it." And so the backstory is that last year, the last event of quarterfinals was basically the same thing. It was 185 snatches and burpee box jump overs at 30 inches. And Chandler set like a smoking fast time, and I beat him by like 1 second. And so afterwards, he just, he was like a little annoyed. He's like, oh, I thought I'd have you in that one. There was one other one recently too that was a lot of burpees. And he just thought like, man,
I can't beat you at these burpee workouts, and I'm supposed to be good at these. And then again, the exact same workout basically comes up in quarterfinals, and I beat him by like 3 seconds again. So, I think he's getting a little annoyed. But so it's not a me problem, it's a you problem. You went too slow.
Oh.
No, and then we were saying Chandler was actually extremely impressive over the quarterfinals, because I think he did all the workouts pretty quickly because he had a wedding to go to.
Yeah.
He just kind of knocked them all out, turned the page, and went on with his weekend. And it was pretty sweet to see that he's finished 3rd overall right now in North America. So that's hats off to Chandler. He's a weapon. That's awesome. We're just kind of enjoying the traditional end of quarterfinals pints. Things are done, like the end of a good competition, to kind of take a second, have a beer, take a breath. Yeah, we're just kind of basking in it right now and enjoying the end of another stage of the season.
Yeah. So what did you think overall with those 5 workouts? Is it a little bit easier knowing there's 120 spots and not like 5 spots or something in this stage? Or what's the mental approach to this kind of event?
I think it definitely is comforting knowing there's lots of spots. It sort of, at my level, gives you the freedom to maybe take some risks or do some things differently that you might not if the stakes were a little higher. So you can still play with it a bit and use it as a testing ground. That's kind of what I did on the last workout, was throw caution to the wind and say, hey, let's see if this works. And it kind of did, but I was pretty close to melting down. So it is nice. I think the goal for this week is just to finish top 40 basically, and try to make sure you have a heat advantage going into your semifinal when things really matter.
Yeah.
So you lay up a little bit, set yourself up nicely. Don't do anything to hurt yourself, but no need to redo things. No need to stress too much. I think that treating it as much like a live competition as you can is going to benefit you in the long term, right?
Yeah.
Do things once, do them right. Try to focus on having nice movement patterns. Don't get any penalties. That sort of stuff. So treat it like a competition, but in some ways you can take some relaxing breaths from time to time. And again, in my position, that's the case. It's not the case for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So always you do what you got to do to get to the next stage.
What was it like training or competing with Ellie and Freya? You're the veteran in the field. Do you guide them, or was it nice to have the young blood there to kind of push you along a little bit, or how does that work?
It's fun. It's always different competing with women because the competition is just a little bit different.
Yeah.
And they're young and excited still, right? Like I've kind of I don't want to say I'm not excited about competition anymore, but I think that I've kind of done it a few times and my approach is a little bit different. Whereas you can just you can feel the palpable excitement for them to get out and compete, right?
Yeah.
So and it brings a lot of energy to the table that I need sometimes. I think they look to me for little bits of advice or to steer them a little bit, and I actually try to not do it very much because I'm not their coach either, right? Michelle's their coach. I'm really try to be a peer to them, and sometimes I have a lot of competitive experience and it might be worth something to them, but I really try to only weigh in when I think it's worth something and not step on Michelle's toes at all.
Yeah.
No yelling. Who's that? Who's that?
Oh.
Who's that? You got some hand sanitizer? COVID safe?
Is that yummy?
He's got the keys. He's driving home.
You driving? Yeah.
So what's the plan for the semifinals? If you get your choice, what are you gonna do?
Normally I'd be a first as soon as possible kind of person, but life's a little different these days, and we've got to be out east to visit Michelle's family and go do some various life things out that direction kind of late May. So I think because all the semifinals are east of us now, they're all basically east, I think it makes the most sense for me to try to compete either at basically the very beginning of June or the last week. So I'll probably be looking at either doing Granite Games or Atlas Games most likely. We still have to weigh it out a little bit, see how things shake out, and again, we just rank our options and then go wherever CrossFit tells you to go.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good chance I'll be competing later in the semifinals this year, which is fine. I think for me, I've got my feedback from the quarterfinals. I know what I need to work on and what I need to focus on. So we'll do that, and we're gonna start training for the games early. I think a lot of people try to do their semi early so that they can start training for the games, because often the training for the semifinals and for the games doesn't look the same. But I'm gonna prep for the games while I'm training for semis. I have enough confidence to go about it that way and feel like I'm not wasting my time and I'm not missing out on anything that's going to happen at semifinals.
You're not going to call your exact semifinal now and strike fear into your competitors' eyes?
It's probably one of those two. So I don't know. If you don't want to see me, go earlier in the semifinals. But come on, you should want to see me. I'm fun to compete with. Thanks for watching. That was kind of our quarterfinals adventure. Keep following along, subscribe to the channel, and follow as we kind of move through the season this year. I'll bring you lots of training content, maybe some competition stuff, some family stuff, maybe some hot CrossFit gossip, and some educational content. More photos of my baby and dog, and my wife.
Just the afterthought. Cool.
And yeah, feel free to drop some comments down below and let us know what kind of stuff you like to see, because I'm pretty new to this thing. We want to do it right. You okay?
Did you do a vlog? It's cool. You didn't notice. Oh, that was a near disaster.
Right on. All right.
But had a screaming baby and a bear on the floor all in one go. All for the praise of one. Yeah.
My God.
He's a wild man right now.
Together. Are you a wild card? Keep it together.